and Paparazzi will play SF. Like you have like the crystal ball, like you see it all. Like you've been casting the Chinese region for so long that like by the shirts that they wear, you know what they're gonna pick. And I'm actually just so honored to be working with you.
All right. I appreciate it. You're hired. You got the job. Welcome to the company.
Nice.
I appreciate it.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. The Beastmaster seemed like it was the same thing as like the Venge, right? Like just trying to stop the black hole. Also gives you pushing potential. It felt like it checked a lot of boxes. It's some vision that they would love with the Hawk.
Yeah.
I still kind of like Xtreme Gaming's lineup a little bit more. I think this respect is still very strong. We just don't see it as much anymore, and I wonder if maybe Xtreme have answers for that they can put together. But again, I don't know. I want to favor Xtreme, but I keep getting burned. I'm gonna do it one last time. If they don't win this game, it's RNG for the rest of my life.
It's your one last ride. One last ride with XG. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can see your point as well, because when you look at their heroes, it's a complete comfort zone too. Like Lu on Disursa, you have Paparazzi on SF. These are the heroes that you want to give them if you're down on the ropes, right? And you're just trying to hold on and stay in the game. But at the same time, I think that Beastmaster last pick was really brilliant. It's not only that that it gives you another way of dealing with the black hole, like it synergizes extremely well with the Vengeful Spirit, buffs up that Bristleback even more, because what does he need? He needs attack speed. He gets that Aghanim's, he gets like 500 damage just from the Warpath stacks, right? But he doesn't necessarily have a lot of attack speed. He gets that from the Beast. He gets a ton of control from the Beast, from the Wild Boars, from the Roar. The Vision game as well is also important. With the Hawk scouting out Rosh, Whistle was just a very damn solid of a pickup.
Like the what we've seen so far from Bristle in the past. I wonder if we'll get those same performances where it's just like, okay, well, I have like 8,000 damage. And fun. You all to die.
I'm dying with the triple
Magic Missile. Scatter Blast, hitting a couple, and the chase is on to kill PYW, but he's got the Boulder Smash, another decay. PYW low, but not falling. No first blood for the side of Royal Never Give Up, the same way they got it in the previous game.
In the previous game, they got 2 kills even at the beginning, right? Like the first blood and an additional kill. This time around, their Spirit needed to go for the Boulder Smash, but it's the standard, it's nothing too weird. Plus, one big thing is he can go back to the base and then TP in. Hold 11 should not suffer at least, but I say that.
Yeah, Magic Missile immediately.
Yeah, he's fine.
There's a little bit of harassment damage.
Just a tiny little bit, because he can move back, right? Like he already denied 1 creep, so the lane will push in.
I was gonna say, it's crazy to me that Xtreme, they've won the laning phase, or they've won so many lanes. They're yet to put it together, it feels like, against RNG consistently. Like, what do you think is the biggest factor in what's going wrong when they get to about the 10-minute mark? Because it feels like at 10 to 15 is where RNG, the lane may not have gone well for them, but they turn it up and Xtreme kind of crumble. Is it overconfidence? Is it something that they're doing specifically in one of the lanes or one of the players?
I feel like, look, these players, they know each other inside and out, right? Like multiple teams and squads before, but there's definitely some tiltage happening with all the TikToks and whatnot. Like I was joking before, but I really feel that's the case. Is you should never brawl so hard and lose so many games on just brawling in that mid game. Somnus, every single game I watch between these two teams, Somnus gets like an ultra kill in that mid game, right? Like in that one brawl, you're just waiting for it. Like Paparazzi wins the lane, and then Somnus just comes back off of a good fight or two.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that the lane's gone that way a couple times. where it just feels like paparazzi rotations from his supports. They end up getting a couple of kills on Somnus, and then Somnus still finds a way to come back into the game. And not even like come back into the game, he comes back in and leads the game by a heavy margin.
The impact that he has is ridiculous every single matchup. What do you think about the impact that Old 11 will have? Like, he's already going into Vlad's, right? Like, he's rushing it. It's not going to be a Blink BKB because it can't be really in this match. Did I even do my predictions? I didn't do my predictions. Damn, it's B-Cop. I forgot. Anyway, back to more important matters. Even though, like, he will not have the Black Hole, the Midnight Pulse should be quite good versus the Bristleback. A lot of damage.
It should be good. And this is one of Old 11's like better heroes. You've known him for like playing Brood, getting the microing down pat. Like, we'll see how Old 11 plays this, but I feel like Enigma's certainly up there in his top 5.
Do you actually think that Enigma is a micro hero?
A little bit.
Yeah. Early on, I guess.
You can do a lot of damage with those Eidolons, given the right control.
Yeah, and
I want to say,
balance.
like, yeah.
It's just not really, like, you don't micro them usually, you know, it's like, as long as you figure out a way to keep them alive until they split, you're golden. But I can see your point. He's not really succeeding at that so far on top lane.
Ooh. Kaka caught. PYW's here. This is another sense of the rotation that they use to try and get Paparazzi a kill. He gets first blood. He's going to eventually drop. Ooh.
He didn't get the
deny. I thought he had it for a second.
He regened a bit too much on SF. Like, he had too much HP. So the hit from PYW actually secured the kill for Queen of Pain. I'm surprised he even went for that, right? Because it was noticeable that he will not have enough damage.
It also felt as though Paparazzi, he was regenning a little bit. That might work out for him. Top. Ghost caught. PYW's come back. The Midnight Pulse doing a lot of damage. The Eidolons with the Malefice, and if he can stick with them,
he's got to roll.
Got the roll in a second, so he should be able to stick right on the Ghost and then eventually get the kill. So that's exactly what they do. Old 11's got another for the team, and down towards bottom. DY low, down but not out.
Yeah, down towards bottom where Chalice is just completely dominating, having the freest lane of his life. He's on top of the network charts as well, by the way. Chalice, that is.
Having a really good game.
It's like you have these boards, you just constantly control Ursa. You don't have to be worried that he will jump on top of you. The moment you get level 2 board, right? You don't have to worry about him killing you ever again, because you just slow him too much. DY? It looks like they want to dive him.
Well, first their attention was on Lou, but they're also making the lane very uncomfortable.
Honestly, I think it was just a bait. Yeah.
Ooh.
Felt like it was just a bait, like they're going on Ursa, so the DY steps in a little bit closer, and then they go on him instead. The DY just quick enough, fast enough, moves back.
By the way, I know you didn't do your predictions, but you'll be happy to know I already lost the last player to be killed.
Nice.
I had Paparazzi.
I thrived through your misery, if nothing else.
Fair enough.
I mean,
Always
I was only
fair.
predicting to see if you're gonna predict the same or not. By the way, what are your predictions when it comes to Tombstone and how effective it will be in this game?
They have Snapfire, so I guess it comes down to like, and they have the Ursa, like it comes down to the placement of the Tombstone.
So are we looking at cliffs only, or?
Yeah, or behind the fight.
Yeah.
We'll see if X Nova really gets the ability to make that decision. It's Somnus, and there's the blink. Ooh. They were trying to potentially line up getting Boulder Smash into the Requiem to hit the Fear. If they had Geomagnetic Grip, Silence on Somnus might have been able to secure that because he blinked away immediately.
You can see that Xnova even went for Soul Rip. Usually we see 202, but he went for Soul Rip earlier. Perhaps won't even max out the Tombstone. We'll see.
11. He's level 6, so he's got Black Hole ready to go. He's got the same amount of gold as Bristleback and Kaka falling to PYW. Is Kaka going down again? I believe that's the second time he's died already. You know, he's kind of tanking a little bit of the pressure coming out from Xtreme in this laning phase.
PYW, Xnova.
Cool.
Yep.
Now they find Xnova. That's going to be one. And they got to essentially go after Ghost here to stop them from getting these stacks. The Requiem comes out, lands on a 3. The Scatterblast hits on a Ghost. 1 raise, 2 raises, Ghost! Oh, just surviving. And now Paparazzi, he's looking like he's just going to die here. They've got the dagger. They have the Sonic Wave. Can they get the deny? Do they even want to go to the deny? Blink and Scatterblast. Paparazzi falls. PYW's out. Kaka dead again with Primal Roar being used out onto the Snapfire as DY uses the cookie. Old 11's in. And Somnus drops. DY's dead. They've got the Malefice on a Chalice. It's a full fight in the river.
He can't. He
do
could.
have Black Hole.
Yeah, he could if he wanted to, because Earth Spirit is coming. But
yeah, but he could still use it if they kick him back into the Black Hole. Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna do.
Nicely done.
So Black Hole used, and eventually Chalice should just drop to Old 11.
I love those axes to get one. Perhaps one more lasted before the fight completes. And look at this SF. He respawned instantly going back towards the stacks. Are they truly that worth it? How many are there? 4? Okay. 1, 2, 3. I see 4. I guess they are. But
yeah,
you might die again here, sir. Centaur Stomp.
Ghost. I'm worried also about Paparazzi. He's in pretty far. Magic Missile on the PYW. He's taking a lot of damage from the Quill Spray coming out from Ghost. And Somnus back in. I mean, the fight that doesn't end. It's kind of like this is the song that never ends. Fire Snap Cookie, the raises on a Somnus. Magic Missile onto Paparazzi. They'll take out DY, looking like Paparazzi's going to be next because the Tombstone's on the high ground. They'll take out the Shadow Fiend. 3 heroes dead again on the side of Xtreme Gaming. And Old 11 with no Black Hole, no health, no life, and no pressure to keep him alive. So RNG will get another one.
Lo is just on the safe lane singing, I think I've seen this song before. And I didn't like the ending. Like, he's just farming on the safe lane. Meanwhile, his teammates are feeding one after another, going for some crazy invasion missions. Like, I get it. You're playing into a Bristleback. You want to contest the stacks. But isn't this literally how Xtreme Gaming loses to RNG every time they lose to RNG? It's like they
it does feel like that.
They try to outplay in these mid-game skirmishes. This isn't even mid-game. This is still the laning stage, but they're really going ham. I love it. I mean, it's fun for us, right? Like, it's best Dota to watch, but it's definitely not working out for XG at the moment, at least.
Radiant's bottom tower
So the traumatization is just, you were talking about how Lou's over bottom, but yet, hold on. I was going to talk about Lou, but I can still talk about him because they came over and they got a kill on the Chalice.
Talk about him.
As he's still in the bottom lane, but I was going to say, like, you know, everybody's fighting and Xtreme's giving up kill after kill and Lou's just down there like, guys, I don't think this is a good idea, but since he's the rookie, everybody's like, wow, come on, Lou. This is exactly how we like to play Dota. Well, you know, maybe back up a little bit.
Kaka.
Nobody listens
Kaka
to the
with a
rookie.
swap. Tumbler's cookie.
Bop.
Tumbler's toy.
And Magic Missile, DY. He'll fall. And then they'll go into, well, roll with the Boulder Smash. Kaka taking some damage here. Only 2 raises hit. PYW loses his life for this. They've got Lou this time fighting. They told him to get involved, and he'll do exactly that. The Requiem comes out, X-Nova. He's going to drop. 2 for 2. Paparazzi looking likely to go down afterwards, and it's a triple kill for Somnus with that Sonic Wave, and Lou trying to fight back, but, well, Ghost is here too, so Lou this time, after being bottom and not getting involved, he dies just like Xtreme has been doing previously.
I love the old chat and all the spam. It's literally, yeah, I can feel this game turning into a pub slowly. It was a rotation that was necessary, I guess, from Lu. He goes in, he destroys the tombstone with overpower and his ulti, but because of using that ulti, he is very easy to kite and kill off afterwards. You could see just how much the boars are doing, right? Like the boars slowing him down. Also, the shadow strike from Queen of Pain doing God's work. They already lost the tier 1 on the mid lane, and this is extremely dangerous when you're on an SF lineup, right? Like you're an SF, you don't have a BKB yet, and your tier 1 has fallen. But maybe they can sneak this rush. They can't sneak it. There's a Hawk. The only question is, can RNG get there fast enough?
Got Black Hole, so maybe they can use that and not have it be stopped. I will say, skirmishes aside, it's still just a 1k lead for RNG, but you know, we've said that too, where RNG, when they get the lead, they don't really give it back.
Oh, that's a good point. I wasn't even paying attention that the network wasn't swinging heavily in RNG's favor. I guess that's also because of the Ursa just continuing to farm instead of rotating in needlessly every single time.
Like this ping. Something explosive here.
Oh yeah, I've noticed it. Of course I
I
like
feel
it.
like that is legitimately just for techies.
That's what you always think, you know. You always feel that it's going to be used in one way, or Spirits roll in.
Roll missing, and he got the geomagnetic grip on it too, so they have the silence. Ghost comes into the fight, the Mortimer's Kisses is used, Sonic Wave hits onto 5, I believe, as PYW is the first one to drop on the side of Xtreme Gaming. Old 11 standing forward. Magic Missile. Kisses Nezoku coming the way of this Enigma. Old 11 needs the TP out. He's taking some damage from that dagger, and maybe the Wave of Terror would have been enough to finish him off. But instead, Xtreme Gaming, they back away. They'll bring Roche on the side of RNG. It's down to half health, but can they take it? One of Primal Roar, they do have Swap, but a lot of the big abilities are missing for RNG if they want to try and make a move here on the side of Xtreme. Have to go right now. Won't find their opening.
Oh, the swap.
Instead, it's a swap on a Paparazzi. Taka gets hit with the roll. They'll take the bench to start. Paparazzi with the raises, and they get the first life out of the hands of Ghost. So Lou right next to him, and they've got the Black Hole to line up. It's, well, and they just used as quickly as they got it, because they get the kill on a Ghost, but Ghost gets a kill on a DY in the process.
Sometimes Gaben takes your hand and says, "Come here, little buddy, I'll save you, I'll help you stay in the match." And this was that centaur right there, his nickname is Gabe, the centaur next to the pit. Literally what happened, it was a good swap. Like, looking at the Venge and her play, that was perfect. Like, he swaps the SF and he's about to stun him while SF is in the river on the low ground, and then he dies, right? Because Magic Missile, it's quite a long of a stun, and you can follow up on that. But as he swaps the SF, there's a centaur who instantly stuns the Vengeful, so he can't use the stun until SF comes on the high ground, and that no one controlled that. No one has Helm of Dominator. It was literally just a centaur walking up, saying, "Hi Vengeful, hi Kaka, I'm gonna stun you now."
Saying no, but has no way to speak centaur. 11 dropping the Chalice solo. By the way, Primal Roar used in the midst of that, and he's going home with the Overlord. As it finished there for Chalice. A little concerning, Paparazzi's net worth. Top lane, Chalice, now on the run. X-Nova's going to die to Lou. He was up there as well.
Nice stun from Chalice.
Have a magnetize and roll in again. Lou starting to right-click away onto the Beastmaster. He'll hit the roll one more time, and PYW able to control these heroes and make sure that they get both kills.
Yeah, Lou is definitely stepping it up this game.
Needs to.
Overall, I'm not saying that he's playing poorly. Like, on the contrary, like, he's been on point for the longest time now, but usually he's playing more of a passive role, like this true win condition. This game, Ursa is their true win condition, sort of. SF kinda has a say in that, but it's mostly Ursa. And he's also making moves early on, so nicely done by him.
he got that defusal, and that's when he was feeling ready to fight. I believe he's got something else flying out to him now.
Maybe Morbid Mask and a
Is
blink.
the blink?
Yeah.
Yeah. You look at Did you look at the courier? Are you cheating?
He had Morbid Mask queued up, and he had a lot of gold before, so that's it.
Ags now for that bristle. That's really a jumping off point when you see these bristlebacks in the one position, is that Ags, especially with this lineup. I feel like Xtreme's lineup is going to get pretty wrecked by the Ags, as it makes the Viscous Nasal Goo in AoE, and these heroes kind of get close from Xtreme.
So I disagree just a tiny little bit. Like, Aghanims is a huge power spike, but the true power spike is Axe plus BKB on Bristle.
Right. Well, I would say that's peaks and valleys. Top lane, Primal Roar, Lou pops the ult. They've got the tombstone down. Lou's just going to try and TP out. Oh, whew.
When in doubt, just TP out.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Lou spanned the voice line twice. I was just going to go, wow. It was, all of a sudden, it didn't look like he was taking much damage, and then he went from like half to a third and almost died. Paparazzi? Paparazzi? He TP'd right into this. They've got the roll again, as well as the Geomagnetic Grip. They'll land the Requiem, but it's only onto the Venge to get the Konakaka, so they'll end up pushing them away from the tier 1 tower. That was very risky. Paparazzi TP'd in quite forward.
He knew that they already used the Primal Roar, and they also used the swap, so there wasn't really any stuns remaining on the side of RNG.
I guess so. He also had the illusion, and that he tried to use that to his favor, but he got stunned immediately. Like, that could have been dangerous.
When you think
BKB soon, that's going to open his game up a little bit more too.
that's something that they're lacking on RNG, right? You have Roar and you have Magic Missile. That's it. Like,
Yeah,
not
that's
the greatest amount
your
of
only
stuns.
stun.
Yeah. There is a shard, however, picked up by the Vengeful Spirit. So not only one Magic Missile, they have two. Unreliable, but they do have two. I stand corrected.
Ooh. Get some gold. That's a cookie into the entire side of RNG. Blue now needing to run. He'll pop the ult again. They'll drop the Midnight Pulse as well as the Wraith Pack. That'll deter them from moving forward any further. Blue's gonna really want this BKB as quickly as possible. And also Paparazzi, he's going into a Shadow Blade. How do you feel about that pickup?
I think it's standard. Completely. Swap.
Swap used, and they'll get a kill on old 11. Easily done to take out the Enigma. No Black Hole available, no more Midnight Pulse, as well as the Wraith Pack that he offers for the team.
I think back to your Shadow Blade point, it's so standard at this point, right? Like on SF, you kind of always go for the Silver Edge because of the crit, because of the break versus Bristle this time around as well. Just a really good pickup once he gets there. By the way, do you feel that because Venge isn't played as much as she used to be, it almost feel like her initiation is guaranteed, like with good swaps. Teams are just not. I don't know. When a hero gets played a lot, every team starts playing a bit differently and a bit more cautiously, like depending on that hero's skill set.
You know, which old 11, he might be doing it again, where he's just playing out too far.
But this time he's
You're not
baiting.
used to being up against the swap.
Look at-
He's trying to bait, but initially he was there before the rest of his team.
Somnus,
BKB
BKB.
gets popped. Somnus, Sonic Wave immediately. That'll push back some of these heroes with the Magic Missile coming out of the PYW. They've got the Black Hole. It's on a Ghost away from the rest of the team. They'll go to the ult on the Undying. They land the Requiem. They'll take out the Bristleback, and they lose Kaka. PYW, the only one dead on the side of Xtreme to start this one off, is they'll chase X Nova, but maybe need to turn
Double
around
stun.
and go for Chalice. It's a double stun coming through. DY in trouble. He'll end up going down to Somnus. Now X Nova back into the fray, kind of throwing his body towards the side of Xtreme Gaming so they go off these other players, and that's exactly what they'll do. Somnus able to get away, and so is Chalice, but it's a win there for Xtreme Gaming, and they got Ghost killed off pretty quickly in that fight.
Yeah, that win right there, it doesn't come down to like some individual skills, individual plays. Like the black hole was easy, everything was very straightforward. It came off of a really good bait. It was a nice overall strategical move. You put your Enigma where you know there's danger, and then you just pincer around with the smoke with the other 4 heroes. It looks simple, but
See it again.
Hmm?
I was gonna say, let's see it again, and
Yeah.
because you're explaining it perfectly, like they did do that pincer move.
Yeah,
Or
I'm
do you
just
think
watching
like
it
he
in
got Ghost all by himself?
I was just in the game, so I didn't see the feed. But yeah, that's exactly it. Like he moved in a little bit too deep because he saw the Enigma. He wanted to actually commit on to that, but there was no stuns, no follow-up to break the black hole.
So Roche back up. Who do you think has the advantage to get it if they went right now?
I guess the Lil Shredder Ursa team is really strong. On the other hand, you have Venge Beast and Bristleback. No matter who goes into the pit, if you're just talking about like taking Roche down fast, no matter who goes into the pit, Roche will be dead in 10 seconds. But overall, RNG do have an advantage at the moment because there's no black hole. So if you want to fight, it would be a good time to do so.
Who's getting a lot of gold from these some of the Overlord creeps? Bitten on them a couple times. Ooh, he's got the shard on Beastmaster. I don't know if they were expecting that that dive bomb hawk.
You can now put it on autocast as well, and it just goes like it just stuns the. Well, it doesn't stun anymore, right? It roots, I believe.
Hold on, roll in. They're gonna go here. Mortimer's Kiss is coming down towards these heroes on the side of RNG. They go to the Prime War. That's gonna land on a Lou with the BKB beam pop. They go to the Sonic Wave as well. The Magnetize dropped on a couple of these heroes on the side of RNG as they start to retreat. Nobody dead on either side, but they'll blink back in with Somnus. Roll away from PYW. This team is retreating. Another dive bomber.
That is literally the moment Bristleback got his BKB, he had to use it defensively. Unfortunate a bit for him, but at least he stayed alive. If he died there, it's Roche for Xtreme Gaming.
Yeah, so it's a 2.5 second route.
Yeah. It's still good though, because you don't have to worry about it anymore. You don't have to, like, basically what would happen before is you have this hawk. By the time you select her and stun, the hero can run out of fog, right? If you're not fast enough. Most of these players are, but if you aren't, you can miss a chance. But now you just autocast it and you do your own thing.
Got Eidolons in the pit, taking care of these hawks and boars. Good now for Somnus.
Who would you rather
Play
have as a pet?
BKB and Orchid. What, the hawk or the boar?
Yeah. Or the Beastmaster himself.
Himself. 10 times. Maybe the hawk. I feel like that would be cool.
Yeah.
Like saying the hawk.
Like the player? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dire are scanning.
Just it hit my brain and I made the connection. So I'm pretty sure everybody else in chat probably already made that connection already, and it's
Of course.
been done. But
Chat is
you know,
Giga
it's
Brain.
just-
Giga Chats,
Yeah.
Giga Brains. 9k
Turn on
MMR.
Roche.
There is a black
Eidolons
hole.
leading. A little bit slow. They go to the ult Onyx Nova, and there's the wave of terror with Mortimer's Kisses. Oh, the roll! Almost in time from
He's-
PYW, but he'll drop. He'll buy back immediately. The BKB was popped pretty early by Somnus, but they're still going to catch a second one. Ult 11 not able to survive the onslaught coming out from RNG as Ghost Getting ripped apart here by Lou, forced to pop the BKB. He'll be soul ripped by Xnova. PYW, he just bought back. He's got to roll away. They've got the swap. It's on to Lou. Lou
Enigma buyback.
needs to try and survive. He'll go to the ulti. He'll use that BKB. They get the first life out of the hands of Ghost. The roll is hitting on Akaka on the side of this fight as they'll be right on top of Ghost.
Oh, the Orchid.
The black hole for a second. That might be enough. The Orchid was used to stop it, but they get the kill on a Ghost anyway. Bristleback ends up falling. Somnus doing a lot of damage. Paparazzi gets the kill on Xnova's. Chalice takes out DY. Lou killing off this Beastmaster in the blink away from Somnus, trying to TP out.
Roll?
A roll! Oh, just a little bit late.
It was on point. Yeah, it was on point, but unfortunately, a little bit too late. Insane fight overall. The Tombstone was way too difficult to run into, right? So they used the Morty's Kisses from distance to try and just mess with them, but
Look at this roll.
the roll actually, he stole the shard, I believe. He didn't take Aegis, but he did get the shard. If there even was. I think there was a shard that he got. Who did it give it to? Let's see.
I would assume he gave it to the Ursa. Yeah, the Urshock
Yeah.
applies the 1.5 second enrage.
Yeah, exactly. He gave it to Lu. It was a nice black hole as well. He bought back for it. It wasn't that great, but I could see the idea.
It did enough.
Yeah, he moved far away from the bristleback, so he cannot get interrupted. But unfortunately for him, Queen of Pain, Somnus still on point, links to that right side, and you can see the way right now. You can see the way that he tries to position himself, but it just wasn't far enough. This time, however, next time might be, because he has a Psychic Headband as well. So he has Etherlance and Psychic Headband, so you can cast that black hole from the comfort of your home,
And
really, from the
got
couch.
the shard.
Yeah.
So he's got the Malphus.
Oh, that's
upgrade.
standard.
Would he go for would he go for the Ags as well and get that pull rate?
I don't think you go for Ags. I think you just buy the shard. Actually, I buy the shard on Enigma almost every single game now too. It's,
That Malphus stun duration.
it's
increase.
extremely valuable. Yeah, like, it's a lot.
Throw that out there and try to make something happen. Mortimer's Kisses pretty early. Roll comes out, doesn't land. Orchid onto Lou. Got the Wave of Terror as well. Now these Kisses are starting to slam down onto these heroes. They get the Come Chalice to start. They were thinking about going to the Sonic Wave with the BKB being popped by Lou, though. Well, now they might need to re-engage as Ghost. He's thinking about going back in. The Magic Missile is going to bounce thanks to the shard on the Vengeful Spirit. Ghost over to the side, still using that Ags to get that AoE Viscous Nasal Goo onto a bunch of these heroes on the side of Xtreme Gaming. They'll corral over and out towards the top end of Roche and RNG away from Xtreme, but Xtreme, they want to cut them off at the pass if they come back into the jungle. They're going to get one step ahead of RNG. Roll in, and now the Orchid. Uh-oh, PYW. That might be a little bit too far. Viscous Nasal Goo and the Orchid Burn will get the kill. Somnus gets credit for that one, and he is godlike. Somnus with the BKB. He'll throw the Sonic Wave. That's going to push back Ult 11, but the damage coming up from Lou will take away the spree that's on Somnus, too. So he's now godlike. Lou, he's 12-1-2. The look.
Oh, the bash. Insta.
First hit bash.
They hit them. They also hit them with the tick-tock, with the clock. Ult 11 got pushed away just as his black hole was coming off cooldown. I was literally keeping my finger on the Enigma, counting down the black hole. 3, 2, 1, and then he gets Sonic Wave. Still worked out really damn well for XG. They didn't even have to use the black hole to win that fight.
So now they have it open for the next opportunity.
I feel like the power of Bristleback is diminishing, and the power of Ursa is just being increased as the game goes by. What's he going for? I think he bought the Swift Blink, right? Yeah, he has a Swift Blink now on Lu.
The net worth. Lou has really shown up this game.
Yeah, they were able to control him early on in the match, right? Like he even made some of those early rotations that didn't pay off, didn't work out. But ever since he got that double kill on top lane, he's been pretty much unstoppable.
A big spree out of the hands of Somnus too, who was like 11-1-10. Game kind of quiets up a little bit. No Aegis, but Roche for a while. We'll see if any team wants to fight each other. Double damage will be set up for by PYW to hold, and an easy kill on X Nova as he tried to come over.
Can they get more? They do see that someone is farming, well, that Ghost is farming the Ancients.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
How do you fight if you're RNG? This SF is massive.
Bottom tower is under
With Blink, by the time you know what's coming your way, well, Lu gets the kill on Akaka.
And you really needed that bench. Like, to defend, you need to have the swap. It's probably the most dangerous thing that you have in your disposal, because SF, if he's playing into Avenge and he gets swapped deep, he can't just BKB. There's Roar, right?
Huh?
Lu!
Lu in far. Going after Chalice. The Magnetize is going to be dropped down. They'll look over at PYW. They get on top of his roll, so he's going to be killed off very quickly. They were dropping in the Mortimer's Kisses, and Magnetize runs out. They went in well too far. Five-man smoke, RNG, looking to catch him on the retreat.
Radiant are
I've been-
scanning.
Just escaping here. Let's see. Shadow Fiend again. Barati looking for the Satanic. It's for Ursa as well. There's a Satanic for him. It's on the way. What is Bristle going for? AC then Nullifier.
It just doesn't feel as impactful, right? No matter what you see, Bristleback queue up. I just can't see an item that changes the state of the game dramatically. Meanwhile, on Ursa, even this Abyssal that he's about to complete. Will he complete it, by the way, or did he switch up to a Nullifier?
It looks like he switched up to a Nullifier.
Like, even if he doesn't complete it, let me switch up the storyline because it's so easy. Even if he doesn't complete it, the Basher is doing so much work that it doesn't matter that much, right?
He's got Gaben on his side right now. He's been first hit bashing quite often. Short Roach respawn timer, by the way, just 15 seconds. And they've got the Hawks in ready to spot this respawn. Who ends up getting this Aegis, it's probably going to dictate who gets this game.
First hit bash. That's one of the most memorable things that can happen to you in Dota. Someone should
Frustrating thing.
Someone should put that on a shirt. First hit bash.
It would probably sell
It definitely would, yeah.
millions of copies. Team smoked up, 5v5. But RNG, they choose to go into Roche. She is right here.
That's so quick.
And they just miss out.
Late to the party, missed the bus, missed the party bus.
They missed each other like ships in the night because the smokes were so close to breaking on each other. But when they didn't break, RNG just snuck into the pit.
Dire are scanning.
One big item that I see on RNG right now is the Hex on Queen of Pain. Like I don't see Bristleback's items being extremely impactful, right? Like he's gonna dish out damage no matter what, but they do need control on their side, and this Hex brings a tiny bit more of it. Double roar as well from Chalice, their Thresher shard, so that can bait Old 11 perhaps into thinking that he has a black hole possibility, and then you pop refresh on Beastmaster, you use another primal roar.
I'm surprised how timid that was from XG.
The fact that they didn't go into the pit, I think they were just unaware, really. It happened way too fast.
But they didn't even send an idol on it.
Yeah, that's why. It happened too fast.
I'm a roar going to be used on PYW. to start this one off. Fire Snap Cookie to get some distance. He'll try to roll away. Does so successfully as Ghost tries to step forward, taking out that Wraith Pact.
Beast has no mana. I think perhaps you just back out of this. Yeah. If you're RNG, you back out, you get some mana on the Beast, you
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
take a better fight. How far is low? 1,000 gold from the Nullifier.
Trickster's Cloak for both teams. I feel like this is a really big item in this game.
You can even give it to Bristle, right? Do you care about the magic damage? How much do you care about it? I think you care enough to take the cloak. It's pretty damn solid on Bristleback. Like 20% evasion, 20% magic resistance.
Yeah,
You
he's
definitely
got
take
it.
it.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Those are some crazy numbers. I'm surprised Trickster's Cloak did not get changed.
Yeah. It's one of those items that kind of doesn't look like a carry will pick it up because, come on, it gives you no damage, right? But at the same time,
The evasion's really
yeah, the
beautiful.
evasion and the
Radiant's
magic
top
resistance
tower
is huge.
under attack.
That ward spotted vision of at least Chalice. Roll in, kick back, Nullifier on him. Right click damage coming in from Lou. He's stunned up for a second. They get the kill on a Chalice. They end up trading PYW. They're over to the side. The Tombstone is down. They need to kind of deal with this. Paparazzi, he's broken the Bristle back, and now they're going to try and get this kill out on a Ghost. But with the BKB of Popeye Somnus, he's going to push away these heroes on the side of Xtreme Gaming. Sonic Wave only hit on a 1. Ghost still going forward. They hit the Magic Missile on both Lou as well as Paparazzi. Paparazzi with a Satanic, and they'll get the kill on a Ghost. But on the back lines, Somnus took out Old 11, who does have buyback. They go to the
Enigma bought
Requiem,
back.
and then they'll try to TP out. Paparazzi dusted up, but not in time to stop the TP away.
Look at old 11. He bought back, but he's right under a hawk. So,
Oh no.
Yeah, he'll be fine though. I don't think they will dive this. But he was forced to buy back, so that's kind of unfortunate for Xtreme Gaming. The way the fight went, basically, it was on Somnus to completely control the backlines, and he controlled them really damn well. He blinked behind, he Sonic Waved them, he just prevented Enigma from doing much in that whole fight, really. It started off so well as well. Like, Chalice just instantly got demolished, but they just couldn't find the right angle to continue fighting afterwards.
Right.
Like the Tombstone as well. If you, it's probably one of the most obnoxious things to play against. In my opinion, it's worse than Venomancer's wards, right? Like, you just, if you don't kill the look at all these zombies. Like, if you don't kill the Tombstones, you can't fight because you can't move. They slow you.
We were definitely giving them a lot of trouble, but it seemed like Xtreme were getting the better exchange on that fight until just a little bit later. Especially the Sonic Wave only hitting on a 1. It was a little bit back and forth. Like, I thought Xtreme, maybe if they fully committed, they were able to go, but the fight was also pretty split, too. Actually, once they got that Aegis out of the hands of Ghost. Now he's going back for the Abyssal Blade, by the way.
Would you have liked that he completed perhaps the Basher Abyssal before the Nullifier, or?
No, I don't mind it.
Because I feel
I don't think the Abyssal's changing anything too drastically. Like, with the Swift Blink, you're almost guaranteed a bash.
I'm talking about Bristle, not.
Oh, Bristle, sorry.
Yeah.
I cut you off pretty early. Because they both have a similar build.
Yeah.
Maybe that might have helped Ghost a little bit more of sticking on these heroes, but he's also got the AoE Viscous Nasal Goo. He's surviving, but maybe that Abyssal Blade helps them focus one singular target.
At least
It's different to the Swift Blink. See, as he's just able to get a kill on X Nova, like, you Swift Blink on top of them, there's no way they get away.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Like, I'm looking at Ghost, and he gets, let's say he gets on top of SF. SF pops BKB, that's it from the Bristle. He pops BKB Satanic, you can't take him down any longer. But there are so many opportunities in which he's hitting someone. If he had a Basher there, if he can at least, like, keep on top of them for 1 extra second, keep them controlled, that's a kill. Because on theirs, it's not like, perhaps it's not the best build for the hero, but their squad, their whole lineup is lacking that bash. They're lacking some stuns, right?
Radiant are
They do
scanning.
have Ags now on Kaka too, so
Dire's
he
bottom
can go in,
tower
he can
is under
die,
attack.
and then he'll have another set of magic missile and, well, another life pretty much.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Which has been pretty important because of that shard, right? The magic missile, having that extra jump target, prioritizing heroes. That's a big chunk of extra lockdown.
For sure. Smoke up.
Still have this refresher shard too on the Beastmaster.
Yep. Somnus getting really big too. After the Hex, the Shivas. A ton of control coming from him. I feel like there was an opportunity for Xtreme Gaming to kind of squeeze them tighter and control this game, like choke them out, but they missed it. And now it's anyone's game once again. 2k ahead only for XG.
Who can do here? Rest of his team, and just looking at least what they're circling is a pincer maneuver of some sort, where they'll send Lu out and up into the left, pincer them through mid.
Meanwhile, Chalice with the spearhead maneuver, just going straight in. Sending those hawks, giving himself vision and just, you know, rushing, Zerg rushing so far. Do you think, like, usually whenever I see two lineups and they're going this late, like 45 minutes plus, I tend to lean towards Enigma's side, right? Like, just a hero that wins late games. I'm not sure that's the case here, because you're playing into Avenge and Beast, so until he gets that Lincoln's, RNG should be fine. And they smoke up again, Kaka. Ooh, this time he doesn't swap.
Still on the run. He still needs to make sure he gets out of this one. But the team coming from behind,
Could be why.
random slew of Mortimer's kisses.
He actually thought Enigma will be caught, so he started priming that up already.
He's a little bit scared of going in and committing completely. You know that like Roche is considered being up in just a moment, even though it's a minute and a half away. There's the roll as well as the BKB coming out from PYW. DY with the little shredder gets the kill, but they end up trading their supports. BKB's been popped by Ghost. They'll buy back on the Earth Spirit. They'll look over at Ghost, whose BKB is no longer active. Start to run, and now the roll is PYW comes back into the fight. The right click damage. They've got the swap coming out from Kaka to save this bristleback Sonic Wave. Sonic's trying to do all he can, and he's going to be forced to blink away. They'll eat the cheese on Ghost. He will eat the cheese, and they'll go and try and chase these RNG heroes. Roll from PYW, the nullifier on Kaka. He'll end up losing his life, and the magic missile comes out onto 2 with the primal roar being popped onto PYW. He's still alive for the moment. They go to the Requiem with the roll, splitting the seams. That means PYW is just going to die here to Ghost. Over to the side, though, is Somnus. They've got the Orchid. They have the Silence onto this Ursa. Fire Snap Cookie away with the BKB pop by Paparazzi. The right click damage isn't going to be enough. Axe is thrown forward, and they'll start to retreat on the side of Xtreme Gaming with no Old 11 and no PYW.
Trickster's Cloak, Trickster's Cloak, Trickster's Cloak. There again. Just coming into play for Lu. Popping that big boy. I was just watching Dandy coach some 3Kers, you know, and he was like, invisibility, invulnerability.
Radiant are scanning.
Basically, at that level.
Yeah, it never changes, you know. If you kill the right targets, the right heroes that have detection, you can save yourself. The rush is up, and we might see another big brawl. Ursa and SF, they're ready to go in, but there's no Enigma, no Earth Spirit. 20 seconds is all that's needed for RNG. Like, they can go in.
They do it so fast.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way.
Yep. Another one bites the dust. Cheese, Refresher, and Aghanim's.
Everything.
Who gets what?
I don't know, but it's on the ground for so long that if anybody was here for the side of Xtreme Gaming, they might have gotten a big bounty.
Yeah, like Chalice, I don't think he's gonna use the sags. I think he just picked it up. I hope he doesn't. Oh wait, actually, I hope he does. Drums of Sloam. No, I forgot it's no longer the Axis. Drums of Sloan, what the hell does that do even? Beastmaster beats his drums with ever-increasing speed. Each strike deals damage to enemies around him, healing Beastmaster and units under his control for a
Radiant's middle
portion of
tower
damage
is
dealt.
under attack.
Unfortunately, it went to the quap.
Ah, no fun. Give me the drums of... Is it that bad that he doesn't even want to test it? Like, he's like, yeah, this looks awkward. Can he move while he's beating his drum? Or is he, like, stuck in a spot, I wonder?
I'm not entirely sure. I tried it out, and I drummed like a person without a metronome and no talent. No idea what I was doing.
Wait, do you have to, like... Do you get, like, a button that you have to press, like, dum, dum?
Yeah, it's a new ability. You have to... I don't know if you have to press it in... That's what... So, I'm going to admit something. Everybody's going to laugh, but that's what I did the first time. I was pressing the drum like you had to hit it on beat, and I was like, this is not working. I was like, this hero's stupid.
Good. I wouldn't
like,
expect
beat,
anything
beat,
less
beat,
from
beat.
you, you know? Perfect.
Radiant's bottom tower is
The worst thing is, like, I'm actually questioning if that's true or not, like, if you actually have to press. But, yeah, I know you. I'm 90% sure you don't.
Radiant's bottom tower.
I'm 100% sure I did it.
Yeah. There's
It was bad.
an Octarine core on Beastmaster, though, so,
Ooh. Catch.
Dire are scanning.
There, they started to come back, and Xtreme, they're in the triangle.
I'm just waiting on that high ground. Setting things up. What's interesting is Old 11, he actually decided not to go for the Lincolns any longer. He's queuing up an Aeon disc instead. Which is pretty much admitting that your black hole will not be... Well, he knows it's not easy
UIW
to
being a
use.
ward. Oh, they're going to look through. They've got Ghost in their sights, and the Aegis is gone. They've done this a couple times to Ghost, where they're able to take the first life out of his hands immediately. They'll look to time the Requiem, and no, they've got the Hex. It's out onto Paparazzi. The Sonic Wave is actually going to hit them both. They have the Silence as well from the Orchid, as well as the Primal Roar coming out. That's through into PYW. They get the kill on the X-Nova. They'll end up trading one apiece, but this time, PYW doesn't have buyback, and X-Nova does. Lou in on this. The Lincolns is going to be popped, as well as the Hex going to be placed onto the Earth, so they've got the right-click damage coming in with the Mortimer's Kisses landing onto these heroes, and there's the Black Hole for only a split second. They have the stun. It lands on Old 11. The damage is coming out, and these heroes are getting really low on the side of Xtreme Gaming. They get the kill on the Lou, and they'll take him out. He's got buyback. They'll buyback on TY as well, as he fell afterwards, and so will Paparazzi. He's got buyback. But now it's a full team wipe for the side of RNG, and it sets them up to take game number 2 after a big fight that looked like it might have gone Extreme's way had there not been that early Aegis, of course.
That looked just so well done by RNG, so well played. Everything was on point, even saving that second roar for the Enigma. Old 11 was careful, as careful that you can be. He was miles away from that fight. He just didn't want to get clipped by a Hawk Vision. He stood in his little ninja gear, smoked up, waiting patiently until he couldn't wait any longer as Lou was falling, right? Like, he needed to act, or Lou would have died, and then his black hole doesn't even matter. He
Right.
jumps in at the bitter end of that fight, and his black hole instantly gets cancelled. Like, they need to start giving Gold 11 heroes that aren't countered completely by RNG. Just let Lou or Paparazzi be countered, and give Gold 11 an easier
I'd
game.
love to see him play Broodmother.
We have seen one Brood in the qualifier, actually. Maybe even two.
Yeah, it was mid.
Yeah.
I want to see Old 11 play the Brood in the offlane. He's the best Brood in my eyes in this region.
Yeah, just look at this replay and look where Enigma is. If you can see her on the mini-map, like there he is, then he moves back, and he never actually approaches the fight any longer. Look, he goes even to the river. He's so far away from everyone and everything. But
So crazy to be able to commit like that and just stay in the river and be away from this fight as much as he was.
it's just the fact that he understands how useless his black hole is. The moment he uses it, it's either gonna get swapped or like primal roared. So he waits for the right moment, and look at that, split second.
Immediately stopped, yeah. Look at just from there. Lou, Old 11, UI, Paparazzi, they all fall in succession. It says I feel like these heroes solo aren't as that strong. Like, when you lose one piece of this extreme gaming puzzle, it kind of all collapses, right?
Yeah, they need to stay alive too. Everyone is important, right? To try and help each other out. Like you have this Force Staff and Fire Snap Cookie on Snapfire that really helps out.
OW with the rolls and everything, and the geomagnetic grip. Like, if you lose Undying, I feel like that's okay for RNG. It's not going to tilt everything over. For Extreme, it feels a little bit different, where it's just like, okay, well, we fall, and then everything falls.
X Nova is literally just nuisance. As long as he pops that tombstone, he's done his work.
Have the vision on them yet? Nearby, so is the rest of the team, and see if they can find anything. If they could delay this game to 60 minutes, that's when the chaos starts, and then everything just by itself. With the BKB, Popeye, PYW, they've got the swap that'll save this Beastmaster. He was silenced and on the run. The right-click damage on the Kaka, so they get the first life out of the hands of Bench. But again, it's always trading PYW. At least that seems to be the case. Ghost is away from his team, though. Use the Abyssal Blade. They've got the lockdown, but the Satanic's going to be popped, and Ghost will be back up to full health. Now Lou trying to run away. Maybe he's going to run out on Ghost, and these axes are flying forward from Chalice. They've got the Soul Rip on Akaka. That'll heal him up a little bit, but the right-click damage coming in from Lou, as well as Paparazzi takes out Chalice. And now two heroes there with buyback on the side of RNG.
They do have buyback, and like you said, and they do have the outpost that's nearby. Also, Rosh cannot respawn in the next 45 seconds. So this whole engagement might not matter way too much as long as they're not forced to use buyback. Perhaps Kaka should just be around the pit and start spamming Wave of Terror or something similar, just to give some vision for the Beastmaster, but yeah, it doesn't look like they're really worried that Rush will respawn anyway.
See if it's going to be a quick one. Xtreme haven't gotten mages yet.
Didn't they take one Rush at least?
I don't.
There have been so many. There's like 4 Roshans
There's
already,
been
right?
4.
Yeah.
I want to say they haven't. The PYW rolled in to try and stop one.
Oh yeah, he stole
they,
the shard. That's all they got.
And then they had a couple just uncontested. I want to say the other 3 were pretty much uncontested.
And it's crazy considering they have SF, Lil, Shredder, and Ursa, right? Like you'd actually expect this team to be able to take Rosh fights, or Roshan even, maybe sneak one in.
Radiant are scanning.
Half minutes for Roche. Ninja gear. So, first, Old 11 now building back into the Lincolns.
Yeah, that Aeon Disc is completed, right? All he needs to do is just unlock it in teamfight. And when you think about it, is there anything else that he can get?
Bliss. Full on Seth. Up the Dragonlance? I believe so.
He's a tower at this point. He's this massive tower that can be killed easily, but if he's allowed to stand and hit, he'll blow anyone up. Yeah, he'll blow anyone up.
Him at a crazy price, and he can hit. And they're going to hit Kaka. They've got the Primal Roar coming out of the PYW again, the roll, and it just seems like it's always just signaled to be straight towards his death. And they're going to be down numbers. Like, PYW has no gold to buy back. Coach up in a minute 10, and at that time, they will have the Earth Spirit being back up, but Lude's going to go in. They've got the swap once again. That's going to be out on the Somnus, so that's going to pull him back away from this Ursa. They land the stun into Paparazzi with the BKB pop by the SF. They'll start to retreat. No longer has that BKB. Old 11, blink, oh, black hole. It's on the 2, but the Primal Roar comes up for Chalice. It might give him enough time to get the kill here on a Ghost, but he gets the Satanic off, and Old 11's going to drop. It was a desperate move coming out from Xtreme Gaming to try and force something, but so far, so good for RNG. Paparazzi surrounded and killed off, gone for 2 minutes, and they only have 2 alive left for Xtreme, and it might just be 1 if TY doesn't make it out.
No first hit
He
bash.
went for it all, got a black hole on 2, but it wasn't enough as Beastmaster was still there with the Primal Roar.
Of course, no first hit bash this time around, so DY at least he manages to get away. Ursa.
Oh, yeah.
He gets out. Okay, for now, he's safe.
Wow.
Radiant's middle tower
But
is under
I
attack.
just love how they play the vision game on RNG and how they bait them out. Like,
Radiant's
they
middle
literally
tower
force
has
Old
fallen.
Eleven's hand. They forced him to go in. They forced him to try and get that
Radiant's
black
middle
hole
tower
because
is under
you don't
attack.
know if Rosh
Radiant's
is up or
middle
not,
tower has fallen.
right? Like,
Going tier force.
Dire's
they're gonna
structures
go
have
and
fallen.
try and end this. There's no SF.
Still 80 seconds with no SF. Blue goes in, Primal Roar used. He's got the Lotus Orb on him. That's going to send the magic missiles back and across the way of RNG. Damage on Alu isn't enough just yet. But PYW with the BKB, he's no longer got hit. He's trying to retreat back into the base. They've got the swap on Alu. Lu's in some trouble, but the Lincolns gets popped with the BKB being there for him. But, enrage as well as the BKB. Now they'll focus their attentions on the tier 4 towers. The throne's going to be exposed. It's looking like RNG's going to take game 2 with these. Somnus focuses the throne, but now they're going to go the other way, and Ghost will take it game 2, going to RNG.
Just more precise. I think that's the way I would put it. Like, concise, precise movement and gameplay by RNG. It did fall out of their hands a little bit in that mid game when Lu got the defusal. He started just dominating the map, going one kill after another. And I feel like there was a chance for Xtreme Gaming to win if they managed to take one of those Roshans, one of those
Right.
Aegises. But they never took an Aegis. They never capitalized on the advantage that Lu gave them in that mid game. It wasn't easy to capitalize on it because you're playing versus Avenge that just swaps you out, puts you out of position. And eventually, RNG, they just farmed up and got everything they needed to strike back. Why is it like that? It's like that because the offlane on XG just never came into play.